Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome back to our Chavruta sessions live from Jerusalem with Rabbi Chaim Goldberg of the Noahide World Center. We're just waiting on the rabbi to show up in the Google Meets class. I was chatting with him the other day. I know we've been working in Genesis, the second book of Genesis of late, and I've really enjoyed the classes. But earlier this week, Rabbi sent me a couple of links. I guess they've been getting a bit of grief in Jerusalem over this Noahide Congress happening in Jerusalem from some Christian groups that seem to think that we cannot have a Noahide Congress without their guy in the mix. And so I did take a half hour and watch some of the video that the rabbi sent me. So he may comment on that today if you're of that persuasion. Yeah, so it should be interesting, but I'm hoping we'll get more of Genesis chapter 2. Yeah, all I can say is, I fully believe in what the Jewish people are doing and what their call is to the rest of the world. I mean, they're not trying to dictate anything to the world. The Noahide Code is the bedrock of civilization, if you just think about what is civility. And I love how the rabbi's class, the last class, or a couple classes ago, where he talked about the four rivers in the garden being four different zones, if you will, or thoughts, ways of thinking and viewing the world. And I love that the Jewish sages have weighed it at such depth and try to refocus humanity on points of agreement for everybody, so people can agree on the reality of the Sheva Mitzvot B'nai Noach, the Noahide Code, if you will. It's not to, like, you get a lot of Christians to say, "Oh, we're not under the law, we're under grace," and they're missing the whole point of what the Noahide Code is. It's about, what is the tick-tock of your clock. If you believe you're okay to worship idolatry or murder, I mean, that's uncivilized. And to say that it goes all the way back for thousands of years is to really think about when civilization became civil and what was the change or transition when people adapted from, say, a hunter-gatherer type lifestyle to a more sedentary communal structure. Civilization, if you will, communities, cities. And we know that the Semitic people have their roots, like Abraham, from the Ur of Chaldees, which goes back to ancient Sumer. And so there's just so much to ponder and to try to understand the flow of life and what reality really is. I mean, you need to have a basic line of agreement, and definitively, I think we have with the seven Noahide laws is where we can have common ground, about no sexual immorality, no murder, no theft, some other things like not to eat the limb of a living animal. I've often equated people need to think pre-refrigeration. When you didn't have refrigeration, it was more common in a marketplace to hack the limb off of a living animal for sale. And, the whole point of being, thankful and grateful, not causing hurt or harm to an animal just for your own gain. I mean, wickedness functions in a certain way, and I find that the way the rabbis teach from their sages, the bedrock of ethics and morality it's unparalleled on the planet. I mean, people have ideas and function based on those ideas, but it's important to have the right basis for why one does what one does. And I think the problem Judaism's always had with Christianity is the potential for idolatrous spillover. And so we may, Rabbi may comment on a little bit of that today, because they were kind of the Brit Olam for hosting this Noahide Congress, first Noahide Congress. It's going to have some global impact. I mean, to be at President Herzog's place, so some huge ramifications. Oh, I see the rabbi just came into the room, so let's bring him up on the screen. And Shalom, Rabbi. So good to be with you. Oh, we can't hear your microphone yet.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hope everything is fine.
All right. Yeah,
Yes.
We got you, Rabbi. Okay, I'm going to turn the class over to you, Rabbi, and look forward to hearing what you have to share today.
Fine. First of all, good evening. Hope everything is fine. By us, everything is quiet. I don't know exactly what's happening in the United States. In Belgium, I think that a lot of Arabs on the way. They're running away straight at you. Insane. Everything is insane. First of all, I prepared, we have another 2 lessons that I already prepared them. But because next week also I have some sort of a problem, it's middle of August, so we'll do this from next week. I want to speak today about something a bit else, not from the, we'll say, from the normal side. I don't know if you've heard what happened last week. Did anyone heard something about last week? Did anyone saw something unusual in the United States? Nothing at all. So I will address it. I will say a few things. Everything is recorded, right, Dan? Everything is recorded. Well, excellent. So it will be on the internet and YouTube and Facebook, right? Fair enough. So let me dive inside of it and show something that happened last week. Okay. It's good that they didn't saw that, but I think that it's important to speak about it. Okay. In a moment, I'm going to share the screen. Let me go step by step. Okay. Let me see that this is opening. Let me hear my you can't hear. Okay. Let me go step by step. Okay. No. Does anyone know? Let me share the screen for a moment, just a moment. There it is. Does anyone know this site or this thing? Dan, do you know it? Anyone knows it?
I'm not terribly familiar with it, Rabbi, but yeah, I watched this video. It was on the list of the ones you sent me earlier this week. Yeah, so I watched through it, but
so this is one video that we have.
Yeah, claiming the Noahide laws as a beast system.
This is more or less the main thing. How many views do we have here? 26K views in 6 days, right? Let's go to another thing. Let me show you another one, okay? In a moment, you will ask yourself, why? Do you see? No, you don't see this screen also. No. Can you? You can't see this. Here it is. Now you see this one, okay? As you can see, also 9 days ago, and he's also speaking about or against the Noahide laws. In the continuous of this video, did you saw this done also? Anyone saw this?
I started to watch that one, Rabbi, but I didn't finish that one. I finished the one before though.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Let's move to another one. We have a lot tonight. I have at least 7, but it's okay. Let's see. Here it is. Come on. Come on. I don't know why it's not showing this. Basically, it's also with a lot of views, something like 220K views. You see, in a moment, it's showing in a moment, and then it's closing. Oh, fair enough. Let's go to another one. Just a moment. Here it is. See this one? Can you hear that? Just a moment.
Time, and I've covered this whole story about the Noahide laws before and how it clashes with what we believe in the Bible and what the exact problems are. So you can go and look for that and dig into it and see it's not a good thing. It's posted and pushed as a good thing, but it's not.
Okay, you see that? Another one. Okay, how many people here? Only 1.5 case. Let me show you another one. Before I'm showing this, let me share with you this part of the screen. Just a moment. Let's see if yes. Here it is. Look on. You can see the screen now, right? Oh, you see that? What is he going to speak about? The International Congress, right? You see that? Let's move to the video. I think the video will show up. No, it's not showing it now. I don't know why. Never mind. Basically what I wanted to say is that 10 days ago, one of my friends who is working very much with the evangelist, okay, shared the invitation of the Noahide Congress. And since then, we have almost, they published us. As you can see, all those people, most of them are bishops, most of them, people that knows how to speak, to preach, whatever it is. What did you say? Sorry, Bob? Most of them are not, okay? Most of them are against us, against the Congress, against things. There's another one that some of them didn't popped up now because of my filter, whatever it is. But we looked at all of them. We learned all of them. We saw all of them. And it's interesting to see who is very fear from what we're doing. So first of all, let me say something that it will be clear, okay? Our response is very simple. We say one very simple thing. We say that 2,000 years ago, when the Hebrew nation went out from their homeland, the true prophets of Israel said 2 things. They said that we will return back to our homeland. And they also said that the Jerusalem is going to be the house light for the all nations, with spreading out the values. And it's very simple. There are those who saw that last generation, and there are those who will see it next generation. And there are those who are very fear from these prophets that is coming up. Very simple. The truth is that we're not going to fight and to give a lot of explanations against it and why we are right and why we're not, we don't believe like others. We respect everyone with the things that he is believing. It's okay. We're not against him. On the other side, we need to know that this is how we see the world. Now, it's much easier for me to say those words today after we passed already 10 sessions that is showing or expressing, I will say, how we read the Bible. And it's always bringing me back to the story when I was 32 years ago in a maze in Australia. Now, in Australia, the maze is a big one. First of all, they don't have any problems with spaces. Okay, they have a lot of space. And we drove from Melbourne to Sydney. It's 12 hours drive, and we did it, in a few days with the kids. I had young kids then. The oldest one was 6 years old or 7 years old, something like that. And the youngest one was only baby infant, less than a year. And we had another one. We had 3 kids then. And we went inside to the maze, and I really thought that it's going to be very simple. And I walked there, and I got lost. And my young kid all the time took me here, took me there, and we blocked all the time. We got blocked with a wall against us. And it was frustrating. It was really hot also. And the two, also my 6 years old, they were all annoyed until someone from the tower spoke with me and showed me the way to the tower. That's it. Not outside, to the tower. And we went there. And I felt a relief. But I must admit that until I didn't have another, I will say, dimension of viewing things, I was really frustrated with the situation. And last week, the first time that I brought you also the verses from Job, okay? Where were you when I created the world? God is asking Job, where were you when I created the world? And the answer is, there were no men here. And I'm saying the same thing is with chapter 2 and 3, okay? Chapter 2 and 3 is speaking about the Garden of Eden and things like that. Who was there to come back and to speak with us? We believe that people, when they die, go there. Fair enough. But now, do we have anyone who spoke with us about this? And the first question that we need to ask ourselves, from where do we have those scripts? I won't forget, I was in Johannesburg in South Africa. I was invited there from someone that was a very big bishop. He was very admirable one. He was in a high rank situation that he flew out every few months to Europe, to the United States. He had a TV show with a few millions people every week. He knew how to speak. He knew how to bring excitement to the audience. It was really amazing to see his magic. I saw it. And he came to a conclusion after all of the questions that he had. Can you see me? I got frozen? No. When he came to a conclusion that everything that, all the questions that he have, he can't receive the answers from his teachers, from the people that taught him and everything. He started to seek, to look, to search. And he also did a journey to Israel. And he met here a few people. And he was really amazed to see something else. And he came back to South Africa, and he decided to get connected with the Hebrew nation. And he called Rabbi Sherki, and he called me, basically Rabbi Sherki, and me, okay? And then Rabbi Sherki asked me to go there to give their seminar, and I gave their seminar. And I won't forget the first session that I gave there. I can open it now. If you want, I can show it to you. But mainly I spoke about chapter 11 of Genesis. Chapter 11, the beginning of chapter 11 in Genesis is speaking about not Noah. It speaks about the Babylon Tower, okay, where all humanity got spread all over the world. And what I said mainly, okay, I can search a few minutes and I can show you the slides. It's an old slide. It's already 7 years since then. And I spoke for an hour. I explained that the Hebrew nation is teaching us that everything started from Adam and Eve. But why is it so necessary to start with this point? And the answer is very simple. Always the question is, where is your starting point? Because at the end, you will go back to your starting point. And we say that everything started from Adam and Eve. So all of humanity started from Adam and Eve, not the Hebrew nation. Hebrew nation is only being mentioned first in chapter 10 and chapter 11. Okay, only then. Till then, we don't have the Hebrew nation. And the reason is very simple, because we really believe that God created the whole world. He created not only the whole world, not only the Hebrew nation, he also created not the Hebrew nation, all humanity. He also created all the animals. He created everything. And this was my main message of the first session that I gave. And I won't forget that he was so shocked. And only a few days later, I was there first. We started on Monday night, okay? And only on Friday, they took us to a museum. I don't know how much you know about South Africa, all the culture there and everything, but when Nelson Mandela became the president, so the United Nations decided to pour a lot of money to educate those black people. Those are the words, okay? It's not my words. They said it to me in those words, to educate them. And one of the things that they did there, the beginning, okay, of the first, I will say, monkey that became human being, you know, all the steps from being monkey to becoming a human being, all this evolution thing, they found all of those things in South Africa. And the South African people always say that from there, human beings started. And what he said to me on Monday night, and I only understood it on Friday when they took me to the museum. Okay, it's really amazing museum. I have pictures still today. I'm saving them and everything. He said to me on Monday, he said to everybody on Monday, he said, you know, this is the only old script. He didn't say it only to me. He said it to the 50 people that sat down there, okay, that moved with him from Christianity to become a Noahide. And he said, this is the only old script that is not starting from their nation. If you go to the old Romans, to the old Greeks, to the old Chinese, to all of the old scripts that we know, everything usually starts from them. And from them, all the rest of the world is coming. And the only people that are humbled, this is his words, to say that we all came from the same Adam and Eve, therefore we can become back a family, a big united family, is the Hebrew nation. At the end of the seminar, he summarized everything. By the way, I have everything on the video. If you want, I can send you, I can give the links here, so you'll be able to see what he said. At the end of the seminar, he said that, again, I'm saying he was a very high priest person from the church. He said to me, not to me, to all of the people, to all of the audience, he said, the Hebrew nation, God spoke only with them, with the 10 Commandments. And it's like I'm speaking now with you in this room, and people are listening outside from the room. And they think that they know what I'm speaking with you. And he said, the Christianity took the Hebrew nation and said, okay, let's demolish them, put them aside. And we know exactly what God spoke with the Hebrew nation. Words of his words, such arrogant ideas. Why not to listen to the Hebrew nation? Now, I will tell you a secret of the Noahide World Center. I know that it's being recorded and it's going to be on the internet and everything. There are two main ways in the last 10, 15 years, since the internet started really to go outside. There are two ways how to reach people out. I'm going to tell you a secret that most of you don't even realize what we did, okay? Now you will know the secret. There are two ways how to reach out to people. In category, okay, there's the Facebook way and the Google way. Now everything is changing now with AI, but never mind. Now in the last 12 months, I'm speaking about in category. What is the difference between those two? The Facebook it's called push. What's happening basically in Facebook is that we're sitting together, we're speaking about something between us in the group, whatever it is, and suddenly there is a pop-up that is coming up and saying to us, look at this, look at us. Are you interested with this? Are you interested with that? You know, it's disturbing us. Think about this for a moment, that we're going to meet together. we're going to play something together. And suddenly someone is coming, do you want to buy this? Do you want to buy that? Do you want to do this? This is the mindset of Facebook. It's a social environment. We gathering together, and someone is always bothering us. The other way is the Google way. What is the Google way? Think about this for a moment. You came back home, 2:00, after you did with your husband, wife, whatever it is, some sort of an event, and you're trying to put your key inside the door, and the key is broken down. So what are you doing? You're taking the device, and you're starting to put the keynotes, okay? Who can open my door? And then Google is giving you what you're looking for. Google is giving you what you're looking for, right? It's a very big different thing. Sometimes, from time to time, I'm looking for something. So I'm asking myself, maybe I will try it on the internet. So I'm going to Google, and I'm starting to type, and Google is giving me the ideas. We decided when we started to work much more consistently and much more hard after we learned all this issue, we decided to work only with Google, mainly with Google. What Dan is doing now, okay, every week, okay, that he's also posting us on the Facebook. It's a group that is speaking about the Noahide issues. And on the Facebook, we're telling them, you can also get invited to the meeting that we have tonight. But mainly, Google invested in us more than $600,000 in the last few years, okay, in the last 6 years. And we publishing mainly on Google. We're not publishing in other places. In Israel, we're doing something a bit different, but we're not dealing with the Noahide here in Israel at this point of time. And all of you that's sitting here, you found us. I don't know how. You found us. Because we are not on the mood of trying to, I will say, to push ourselves for people who are not seeking and looking for the truth. And it's from time to time also annoying. There are people who are sitting in this room that want very much that their families will know the knowledge of the lessons that we had in the last few weeks. And the families they don't have any desire to try to understand what are we learning and how are we learning. And we're not searching for them. Not because we don't believe that they need to have the change. It's because it won't help. There is no way that we can, just a moment, Dan, there is no way that we can convince someone who is standing stabilized with himself and have no doubts and no questions. And I'm saying again, I know that I can find, okay, I can research about every one of you, each one of you. When was it the first time that you sent us a message? Usually, it's something that you searched and you found us. Now we have today a lot of people, thousands of people, thank God. And I think that we came to the place of the turning point that we can change it. And we can move it to the next stage with people and how to do this and everything. And we're going to speak about this on the Congress and most of the next year of the Hebrew calendar year. Okay, now the month and a half it's going to start, a bit less. We're going to deal with this also, with a lot of ideas that we have. We're preparing a lot of things about this. And I'm sure that we're going to have the possibility of moving to the next stage and more to bring this message to more people. Again, but it always will be those who are searching for answers, not trying to convince people who are very stabilized. And now I will ask you, who are those who are most afraid from this stage? Those who don't allow to ask a question. So I'm really a bit, I have some sort of a sadness for them. Truly. They are so afraid that the people will go out from them. I can tell you that from those videos that I showed you, it's only the beginning. We have more than 10 videos like that, okay? That we're getting more all the time, we're getting more and more. We got a lot of questionnaires because of those videos. Now, we're not searching for that, but people have a lot of questions. And they're not receiving answers. What is the sentence? If you ask too many questions, you don't believe enough. Remember this sentence? So people say, okay, here I don't believe. Here I can ask and I will be a good believer. Where to live? Where is a better place to live? Okay? We are not pushing ourselves too much outside. People are searching for us and finding us. And more people are finding us. There are ways how to, I will say, wake up. Remember that we said it more than once. God, we're going to say it another 2 weeks from now. I get 3 weeks. Yes, that God took Adam and Eve, and he took Adam. He did, he brought Adam to be sleeping, and then he reorganized the woman from Adam. But it's not written down anywhere that also God woke him up. We spoke about this. So there is a question how to organize that we will wake up in this world. There are people who are running in their way. It's okay. The next generation will come. It's okay. Ask Angelica. It's happening. It's happening. We're not pushing. We're just trying to be the house light, to live in the true way, to be in the right kind way with our people around us, to accept them because they also have an image of God. We call this in a professional way, okay, to become Abel and not Cain, okay? And this is a professional way how to explain this. And we have the confidence that just like we came back to our homeland, like the true prophet said, on the same level, we're going to be the house light for the nations. And with this, I'm going to surprise all of you very soon with a few enormous, news about this. So we really feeling sorry for those who are very afraid from us. And we are inviting them to come and to speak with us. We're not doing debates. It's not on our agenda.
Yeah, it's not a us versus them scenario for sure, Rabbi. Rabbi, can I just maybe expound a little, just a minute, just to maybe help those that are actually out there searching. I spent nearly 50 years of my life in and around Christianity, 32 of them as an adult, trying to do everything humanly possible to be connected. I've written a few books. My point being, if you're really searching and you've got questions about Christianity and you're out there listening, I want you to just think of this for a second. In the last 2,000 years, there's only one thing consistently that they always avoid, okay? And think about this realistically. I don't know if anybody remembers the old 1939 Wizard of Oz movie. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. If you remember in that movie, it's a classic, Wizard of Oz, where the Dorothy and her friends are seeing this big glowing head, and they notice the man behind the curtain who's fiddling with the machinery. And you can generally find a clearer lens when you pay attention to the man behind the curtain and not avoid looking at this reality. And when you think about it, and so what is it that they've been trying to conceal for the last 2,000 years and always changed the topic or point of discussion away from? The reality is they never want you to imagine that Rome had any ideological intention in their empire's expansion. That's what they don't want you to look at. Rome had no ideological aspirations in their empire expansion. And if you just think about that for a second and then probe, you realize that the whole of Christianity is the theme of Rome's ideological expansion. And rather than call it, Rome, it became Roman universalism, which some people call Catholic, but the point being, by the end of the first century, the whole College of Pontiffs were reestablished, and the point is there it goes back to their old Roman 500 BC way of running things. And as their empire expanded, they don't want you to notice that this was Rome's ideological push. And so if you start looking at it from the most academic approach, the reality on the New Testament is most likely that the Gospels were commissioned by Vespasian, and Paul, the apostle, who's from prior, he was most likely, according to their own text, he was a Herodian Roman sympathizer. And so they used the tools of that era by the end of the first century in the Jewish wars as part of their Roman universalism expansion. And it became coined eventually as Christianity. But, look at it historically, factually, and you realize, they didn't have their own Bible, and then they erased the cults that did, the earlier ones, and they didn't even vote on their own text till 364 AD. And just look at the facts when it says, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The man behind the curtain was Rome and their ideological impact. If you just keep that focus in your lens and look at every historical movement, it was part of their empire's expansion. And how do they overtake that region? And when you look at realistically, they wanted their apotheosis doctrine, where a man could become God, because that's what the emperors aspired to. And people said, we're not going to accept that. So then they create the person that you have no choice. You've got no choice. You have to accept or you're damned. In reality, when you look at their question of salvation and how they make it the most important thing in this world to fight for, in creative writing, that's what is known as a MacGuffin, and it's an element in a story writing that causes somebody to focus on that for their entire life. And when you think of salvation as the most precious thing you could be living for, you're so looking outside of yourself and not at reality. But yeah, I don't want to beleaguer this, but the point being, when you can find their true motives by what they've been concealing for 2,000 years. Nope, it wasn't Rome. It's the way it really is, and you have to accept it. And that's all you've been pushing on the world for 2,000 years. You got no choice or you're damned. And it's terrible, but it is what it is. And sorry, Rabbi, I just thought it might help correct the lens.
No, it's okay. Again, the thing, I can answer a lot of notes that are being said in those videos. We have Charles Carlton, I think his name, the young person from the United States that is all the time speaking against the Jews. I will say it like that. I think that with all of the respect that I have to people that are supporting Israel in those days, the evangelists and things like that, those people, it's not moving to the next generation. And the reason is very simple, because at the end, if you believe mistakenly in things that are not being passed on through the prophets, So you will find yourself with a lot of darkness in life. And
Well, that's where their
one
fear
of the things
comes
that
from.
I
Yeah.
tried and showed in the lessons that we did is how you can learn those scripts in a way that is really giving you a lot of light and a lot of empowerment
That's
to bring your
I've
life to
always
a better state.
appreciated about yourself is that's your focus is share the light of what Torah is, and let
And
Hashem do
yeah,
his work in people's lives, and we hope that people.
and that we again, I'm saying, if I will try to nail it, we believe in God who gives life, and this is our mission, to give life. Now, I'm not saying that there are no boundaries. There are boundaries. Okay, the boundaries are not the nonsense of taking people that don't believe in God and killing them. This is not the boundaries. I will give you an example. Let's speak about the Hebrew nation. We all know that those who are not keeping the Shabbat, according to the Jewish halachic way, are supposed to get killed. Okay, in the court. We have witnessed only twice in our history that Jews did penalties that they're not supposed to do on Shabbat and got killed. Only twice. One of them is on the Torah in Numbers, okay? And the other one is in the Midrash, more or less in the time that the destroyment of the Second Temple Mount, okay? The second one is not even a problem of, it wasn't a halachically problem, okay? But the meaning of this is very simple. It's not that we really want to kill those who are not keeping the Shabbat, but we're saying to them, we're stating to them, the truth is that you have your life are not worth anything if you're not keeping the Shabbat. It's better that you will be demolished, that you won't be here in this world. But there are a lot of tactics and tricks of the rabbis not to bring this law to practical. There are other ways. They're doing other things. They're not. It's the same thing. If you look in the Bible, for example, just that you will realize how we're reading the Bible. I'm saying this all the time. We have what is written down, but we have also a very interesting way of the oral law that we're doing. Okay, it says in the Torah more than once that if someone, for example, is doing a fight with someone else and taking his eye, even accidentally, outside, okay, he's losing one of the eyes of the one that fighted against him. So, according to the Torah, you need to take his eye also. Ayin tarat ayin, and then itara. Okay, it's written down 3 times, if I remember correctly, in the Bible, in the Torah. And our sages in the Babylon Talmud and also in the Jerusalem Talmud, showing with a lot of ideas that this is not what the Torah meant, and we're not doing it. And if you open the Maimonides, you will find that he's not saying that you need to do it. So you ask yourself, so why it's written down? It's written down, first of all, so that you will know that this is truly what was supposed to happen. If you took an eye from someone, so you need to pay your eye. Okay? So this is I will say, the truth, I will say, value of what you did. But halachically, in the way of life, I'm speaking in the Hebrew nation, okay? You're not doing those things. Our sages in the courts and everything else did other things, but they didn't do that. And what I want to say is that to read a verse that is being written down without, I will say, the dimension of the Hebrew prophecy, it's like trying to move inside the maze without seeing the right view of the third dimension. This is why I started with this story. All the rest is nonsense. You can listen to all of those videos that I showed you. But remember all the time, They are not saying true things. And it's okay. I understand that they're afraid. Okay? I understand. I'm not saying that because of that, I'm not going to put my words on the internet. And I'm doing it. Okay? I'm putting my words. We are putting our words on the internet. I want to show you for a moment. I want to remind you for a moment, okay? One of the landing pages that we have on the internet. And those who are searching for, I will say, for learning the Bible. Let me show this. Those who are searching for learning Bible are finding this page. See, very simple. I'm not asking them. If they want, they can click here, and they're going to all sorts of lessons that we have, and they can speak with us. Do you know, on the internet, when you have a landing page, and you're putting advertisement for your landing page, in Google, I'm speaking about Google, remember, I'm not searching for those people are searching for us. What is the percentage of people that after they see the landing page, they are clicking the click? You know that? You know what is the number? I can tell you. The number usually is between 1% to 3%. This page is getting around between 9 to 11% of clicks. Let me show you another thing. Okay, let me show you another landing page. Second one is just a moment. Let me find it now. Okay. Let me know that you see it. This one. You see this page? Okay. Let me tell you a secret. This page is basically speaking about what is a Noahide. Giving few ideas what is a Noahide. Not asking you here in this page, it's not asking you to do statement, to do the pledge. It's just speaking about Abraham. It speaks about a wake up, okay, things like that. Again, this landing page is receiving usually around 15% of when people are coming to this landing page, continuing else. By the way, if one of your family once is asking you, but explain to me a bit what's happening, you don't need to say anything. You can say, if it's really interesting you, here's the link. Take this link. That's it. Give this link to work. Believe me, it's working. It's working all over the world. Thousands of people already. I can remind you, all of you saw that. I'm telling you, all of you saw that. I even remember about a few of you that sent me messages back to say how much you search for those ideas for X years and whatever it is, and you're so glad that you saw those ideas and you understand them. It's giving you a good feeling that you came back. It's resonating inside you. And it's okay, because we're not teaching anything from the outside. We're teaching everything that is related with the soul that we have inside us, with the secrets that we got from the prophets. This is the main opening gate that we have. I really don't care I'm not saying only about me. We spoke about this also with Rabbi Shek. We had a very profound discussion. We really don't care, or we're not upset from those who are speaking against us. With all of the respect, if they won't come, the next generation will come. It will happen, just like we came back to our homeland. And we need to do our best to stay calm, to be kind, not to speak bad words. And I think that you almost can't hear from me any bad words, not about Jesus, not about all those ideas. We're trying to respect everybody. And we know that the truth will appear and everybody will be part of it. Sooner, better than later. Because as long as it's taking more and more time, We have more and more people that are dying. I don't know if you saw, for example, this crisis that we have today in Spain, but it's not only Spain. Okay, in the last few days, almost, I don't know the numbers. People in the media, we have from 50,000 people that came from Morocco to Spain, and there are also numbers about 150,000. The main thing is that we need to remember that the European Union is allowing them after a month to start to move all over Europe. And one of the things that they're stating, if you want, I can show you now videos that they came to roll over. But this idea of rolling one on each other, with all of the respect, we are today in the 21st century. Let's move on, let's find the way of living together in the right way, in the way that will give us life, that nobody needs to die from hunger, nobody needs to die from bloodshed. All those words I know that the word bloodshed is also related with Christianity. It's okay, I know. But the truth is that we have the key of how to live here. Let's use it. And I think that we can. And I think that here in this room, I have partners. I do have partners. I don't know if all of you will be able to come to the Congress. I don't know. I know that some of you won't be able to come. It's also okay. Some of you coming. But also, if you're not coming specifically to the Congress, it's also okay. Also, then you're still part of this family. We will send you not only videos, we will send you more things. Okay? Part of the family. And as a family, we're growing up and we'll manage. We had here, for example, until a few minutes ago, we had also, what's his name? Also from Canada. We have also young people inside this. We have young people, we have old people, we have from all countries, we have also from Arabic countries, we have from everywhere. With the help of God, we will win this and everything will be fine. So we're not in a battle, we are in a journey, and the world will come to a better stage. Are there any questions or any notes that you want to say? Everything is fine. Here, Mordo, Nathan Mordo is with us.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes, Nathan have a very interesting way of becoming like God. We can hear him, we can't see him. It's okay. Fair enough. I miss you, but no. What I wanted to say that, believe me, we have people from all ages with us. And we will manage. Believe, okay? The truth words of the prophets are going to, I will say, to be part of the world. And one of the main things that they're saying, it's being stated twice, not only once, about Dan. Let's read a few words from the Bible. We can't stay only with the. It is. I'm finding it. I'm putting it up. It's being stated twice, not only once, by the way. Here it is. Dan, I'm showing the screen and you will read the verses, okay? With your permission, as usual.
Sure, Rabbi.
And just like we came back to our homeland, this is also going to happen. Please. It's from beginning of Isaiah chapter 2. Please.
Okay. From Isaiah chapter 3. The word that Isaiah, son of
chapter 2.
Isaiah chapter 2. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, prophesied concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall be at the end of days. Now remember, this is concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall be at the end of the days, that the mountain of the Lord's house, meaning the temple, shall be firmly established at the top of the mountains, and it shall be raised above the hills, and all the nations shall stream into it. And many peoples shall go, and they shall say, Come, let us go up to the Lord's mount, to the house of the God of Jacob, and let him teach us of his ways, and we will go in his paths. For out of Zion shall the Torah come forth, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And I think this, we've been sharing this since we met, Rabbi, for sure. Very important. It was motivational for me in becoming a Noahide. And he shall judge between the nations and reprove many peoples. And that term reprove isn't just, beat somebody with a stick. It's correct. And I love the way Rabbi Goldberg does that in a loving fashion. Reprove many peoples, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift the sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And that's a worthy endeavor to invest your time, energy, and resources in to help the world get to that place where they beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Not lifting, sword against.
I will finalize this. I will finalize with a very interesting situation. Okay, when not the Rambam, not the Maimonides. Okay, the Ramban, when he had a very interesting debate against one of the priests, so he quoted those sentences, those verses, and he said, "With all of my knowledge, he was 1,000 years ago. Okay, it's the time of the Crusades." And he said, with all of the respect, you're saying that the Messiah came. But it says here that when the Messiah will come, there won't be any wars. But you still have faculties that you're teaching the youngest kids how to hold the sword and to fight and to do the crusades. So is this path bringing us to the stage that we won't have the wars anymore? And with this state, I will finish. So I finished to say what I have to say this week. Next week, we won't have a session. We will have it another 2 weeks from now, and we will return back to Genesis. And we will continue on to learn the way how we reading the Bible through the prophets, how we got it, how we received it, and how much it's giving us life, beauty, and adding more life to the world.
Man, beautiful. Baruch Hashem. It's exciting to be a part of, for sure. Does anybody in the group have any questions or comments for the rabbi before we wind down?
Not all of you together.
I have a question or a comment. I saw some of those videos too, and I was quite shocked because I don't understand how they cannot even agree on the basics. I mean, the Noahide laws are the basics for humanity. Can't we come even together on that level? That they have an issue with that was just shocking to me.
It's their fears, their internal fears, the way it works internally.
It's a good question. It's a very good question, Martina. And I will say to you, the answer is very simple. The question is not, can we be on this common ground or not? The question is, are you listening to the Hebrew people? And this is the main fear that they have. Because they have questions that they don't really have the answers. And it's even,
they want a trusted source, for sure. Yeah.
The New Testament sometimes also contradicts the Old Testament. And suddenly, the Hebrew nation, just like Jacques Rousseau said, okay, that when we will return back to our homeland, we will be able to start to speak. And then
freely,
we will know. Jacques Rousseau said it. I don't know who speaks about the truth, who knows the truth, the Christianity or the Jews. So we need to wait that they will come back to their homeland and they will speak. And then we will know who is speaking the truth. And the main thing here is the fear of listening to Hebrew rabbis that are speaking about those ideas and sharing.
Right.
We haven't learned yet, for example, in chapter 3 in Genesis, and not even the second part of chapter 2, about the relation between men and female. But we already see that there are each thing that I taught you, and you receive also the papers every time, you will find that category is we see things differently. And this is what is annoying them. That people are listening to what we have to say. Because it's basically taking down their, I will say, basic assumptions. You suddenly, you don't need.
They can't admit they got
you
it
don't need
wrong.
any survivor for living.
Right.
Okay. So, what are we doing? After thousands of years that we said that this is the only way. Thousands of years that we said that there's a separation between life and religion. Suddenly a group is coming here and showing us that it's not a separation. It's not even a religion. It's a way of relation with God. Okay, so everything that we have taught, everything that we lived, all the basic, foundations, assumptions.
Inherited lies. They've
I'm saying
inherited
different-
lies, is the way the prophet said it.
And this is what is really bringing them to a very profound afraid.
Yeah, they try to get rid of personal shame. They don't want to face any shame, right? And nobody
I
wants
will tell you
to.
that on the other side, we have a lot of. Dan, you need to close for a moment the recording.
Well, but
This is
that's
it's only between us. Okay.
it's a human protective mechanism. It's just the way people if you don't realize for the whole cycle of humanity, it's always the habit of the weak to congregate together to protect themselves against whatever they're afraid of. And so realizing that some elements of society attack the strong, it's because they're afraid. Fear is irrational, but it serves a purpose in Hashem's order of existence. And you should be afraid of falling off a cliff if you're standing on an edge, right? It's, self-preservation, but there are certain types of fear that cause behaviors that are irrational.
Words of Dan reminding me a very interesting story of the Hebrew nation about Abraham. I will conclude with this. I also need to go, but I will conclude with this. It says about Abraham that his father, Terach, basically was selling idolatry. Or if I will say it in our words, he was sharing a lot of concepts that people believed, admired, whatever it is. In our story, the story that is in the middle, is that Abraham broke down all idolatry. And Terach was terrified. And the sages in his world are really terrified from Abraham. Now, Abraham wanted to bring a new, I will say, belief in God that is not idolatry. But the people there were so afraid. They said, last time that we lost the idolatry, we had a situation that brought us the flood. God was really against us. So don't move the world from where it is. So when the world is on the stage to move to the next level, there is a lot of fear that is coming, Don't
Yeah.
change anything.
Yeah, people are afraid of change. Yeah, especially growth. Growth, you need resistance for growth. If you don't have resistance, there's no actual growth. And so, yeah, if you're ever done any weight training, you gotta add the weight and yeah, resistance for growth. And yeah, so don't be afraid of the challenges of having your ideology questioned. And true lowliness, true humility, lowliness is always willing to admit it's wrong. If you want legitimate revelation that is beyond your current train of thinking, you've got to be willing to let go of the old train of thinking to have something that eclipses where you're at. You know, sometimes an idea overwrites and just completely alters the thought patterns that you had in the past. And I know for Christians, they're so afraid of losing their salvation. But like I said before, it's what story writers call a MacGuffin, MacGuffin. And it's an element that's intended, like in a movie, making a movie like Lord of the Rings. The MacGuffin is the ring of power. You know, it's an element that people follow throughout the story. And the story of Christianity, the MacGuffin is salvation. And when you make it the most important thing in the movie, it's all about you. Yeah, you're not being as focused on the tasks at hand. So belief and action play a big part in how you function in this world. And I'm just so grateful that the rabbis take the time out of their busy schedule. And I'm so appreciative of Rabbi Goldberg lovingly sharing Torah as it has been legitimately handed down through the sages in that chain all the way back to Moshe Rabbeinu. And so, yeah, it means a lot to me.
Fair enough. Okay. Blessings,
Okay.
everybody. Have a great week. So next week we skipping?
Yeah, no, I'm away next week, Rabbi. I'm going to fly back east and see my mom. And as long as this
Excellent.
plane,
Very
we've got
good.
one airline's got a strike going on that we'll see if it affects my plane. But so far so good. So I'm hoping to make a trip. And yeah, so we'll see you in 2 weeks, Rabbi. Blessings to you and to all Israel and everybody else. We'll be back on the 16th.
Blessings,
Bye.
Rabbi. See you. See everyone.
All
Good night,
right.
everybody. Bye.
Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.